Hello everybody and welcome back then to the VALVIK Marble League. And here we are then for Season 4 and the qualifiers. Hello everybody and welcome back then. My name as always is Frankie and here we are then for the qualifiers for Season 4. Where 24 teams go in but only 12 will join the auto-qualified 4. There are your groups right there. The Clockbrooks and the Sailors both gained 2 additional points alongside what they scored today as a result of their performances last season. The Clockbrooks of course won the minor league. Sailors finished in 5th place. Let's see what the events are for today. We're going to start with the relay, funnel endurance in 2nd, balancing, and then a brand new event in the Rallycross. This is the funnel endurance and the Rallycross that are individual events. The rest are team events, but we're going to get started then with the relay. It's going to be a little bit different from how it normally is in the VALVIK Marble League. Instead of a heat system, instead, your fastest time is counted, going up against every single other team in your group. So it's not only about beating your fellow competitors in your heat, but also everybody else in the group as well. Well, let's get started then with heat number 1. We've got Team Echo, the Hammerheads, Rollives, and Atomics. And they're off. It's a good start for the Rollives in lane 3, but watch lane 1. Team Echo now take the lead, extending the gap now in the second handoff, and then at the anchor leg, the Atomics will take 2nd from the Rollives, but it was a win for Team Echo. Not bad then. With a great first handoff, watch Renew in lane 1. With a great launch and then passing it on to their teammates in the 2nd and 3rd handoffs. It's going to be an easy win then, at least for the heat, for Team Echo. Atomics then will take 2nd, it's Rollives in 3rd, Hammerheads in 4th. 8:02 then for Team Echo. As we switch our attention now to heat 2, it is the Clockworks, Violet Vermin, Balls of Zen, and the Golfbirds. And off. It's a good start for those first 3 lanes, but watch the Balls of Zen, lane 3. Extending that gap now is Yang. Clockworks now takes 2nd from the Violet Vermin. As we approach the finish line, it's going to be a good time and a good finish for the Balls of Zen. Not bad then from the Season 2 champions. It was a slow start for the Balls of Zen, but with a great first handoff, Harmony extends that gap, passing it over to Yang. As there you can see Victoria passing Peril for 2nd. And they could not take it back. Golfbirds a long way back from everybody else. But let's see the times then. And as the ball's in with the 7:54, they now take the lead. Clockworks only 5th. Golfbirds in 8th. Let's move on to the final heat of Group 8. It's the Cyber Crew, Royal Jesters, Coastline Crescents, and the Power. We're already off here. Royal Jesters with a good start. Lane 2 extending that gap now. Cyber Crew in 2nd place, a distant 2nd place as the Jesters will cross the line with a comfortable win over the Cyber Crew. Meanwhile, the Pirate Brothers did take 3rd place from the Coastline Crescents at the end there, but it was a good run then from the Royal Jesters, who had no competition throughout. They were able to extend that gap after each individual handoff. But let's see that time in the end. And the Jesters take it with a 7:32. The Cyber Crew can only manage 4th place. But it's going to be 2nd place for the Balls of Zen. Team Echo will take 3rd. And the Cyber Crew in 4th. Atomics and the Rollives round out your top 6. Golfbirds with a 9:30. They start off in last place. Oof. But it is the Jesters then that start off in the best way possible with a win in the first event. And in the overall standings there, you can see the Clockworks with that bold number 7 on their scoring sheet. Those are the additional 2 points that they got from winning the minor league. They now sit in 6th place, just behind the Atomics. As we now switch our attention to Group B. And here we are then with the Poison Darts, Sushi Squad, Disco Neons, and the Shock Current. And we're off. It's a good start for those last 3 lanes there, but we like a great handoff for the Disco Neons. Blue Neon now extending that gap now. The Shock Current in lane 4 will finish in 2nd place, but it's a easy win then for the Disco Neons. Shakuran will come through in 2nd. It's the Sushi Squad in 3rd, and the Poison Darts a distant 4th. But what a great handoff then from yellow to green neon to give the Disco Neons that so needed win. Starting off on the right foot are the Disco Neons. They now take the lead with a 7:57 already, about as fast as the fastest time in Group A. As you look into Heat 2, it's the Sailors, Consider Rush, Flaming Cherries, and the Grim Roses. And they're off. It's a good start for Casino Rush. Lane 2, extending that gap now. Flaming Cherries, lane 3, right alongside, but they're not seeming to catch them. As the Casino Rush will cross the line to win in the heat. But it looked visually slower than Heat 1 at least. Sailors then finishing 3rd, and the Grim Roses a distant 4th, getting passed by the Sailors after the 2nd handoff. Flaming Chairs could not match the speed of the Kitsune Rush here as they cross the line, but we have to wait and see then the results in the heat. And it's going to be second for the Kitsune Rush, 4th, 5th, and 8th for the rest. Grimrose is 9:51. That's a very slow time as we look into the final heat of Group B. It's Team Whiteout, the Cue Balls, Peculiar Peaks, and Team Virtuoso. It's a good start for Team Virtuoso. Lane 4, Lane 2, the Cue Balls passing Peculiar Peaks, but the Peaks take it back. As now Kimulea trying to approach Zlata, but they are not able to do it. It's going to be a very fast heat then. Cue Balls will take third. Team Whiteout a distant fourth. But it was a close and tight battle then. But Team Virtuoso ultimately came out on top in the anchor leg. We're not able to, Peculiar Peaks were not able to catch them. We have to see and check the times then to see how they stack up towards everybody else. And it's going to be a win there from Team Virtuoso, 7:28. Peculiar Peaks in second, Cue Balls in fourth. A very fast heat then. Q in heat 3 would put the top 3 in the top 4 overall. Not bad then. This Gonias take third, Kitsune Rush in 5th, Shakurant in 6th. Grimroses with a 9:51. They line up in 12th, the worst time so far in the relay. Oof. A poor start then for our green teams in general. But let's see how they stack up in Group B. You can see the Sailors then, same situation as the Clockworks. They have 2 additional points after qualifying, after finishing 5th in the main league. They line up just behind the Shakurant. As we now look towards our second event of the qualifiers. Welcome then to the Funnel Endurance. Very similar format to what you've seen in the Funnel Endurance Friendly, but this time it's all small funnels. It's going to be a very fast event altogether for our teams here. As of course, the slowest time is what counts. The important part is to not finish first. Here we are then with all 12 marbles going in at once. It's the Golf Birds at the back, Glory Jesters at the front. And we're off already here. And already we're going to be seeing a few marbles moving into the second funnel. It's the Cosine Crescents and the Hammerheads who almost get stuck at the entrance of the funnel there. Getting pushed out by the Clockworks. Meanwhile, up at the front, it is the Royal Jesters alongside the Power Prowlers and the Cybercrew. Cybercrew, of course, great performers in the Funnel Endurance Friendly, but they now enter into that second funnel. It's now the Power Prowlers and the Royal Jesters. Pyro and Jester. As Pyro enters, they get stuck in the entrance, and Jester collides them and lose momentum. They're already down in the third funnel. As meanwhile, the Violet Vermin, Misfortune down in the fourth funnel alongside Olivia of the Rollives. Balance, Great, and Victoria are also there as well. As Bite enters for the Cybercrew. As already, big gap then to the everybody else is Violet Vermin. Look at up at the front, it's Eagle of the Golf Birds who were able to maintain that momentum and are now in a good first position. Cosine Crescent with a good recovery as well. Moon up to a potential third place, and Renew of Team Echo, a great performer in the Funnel Endurance. They're now up to second. As we know, we're now through the sixth funnel already, past the halfway point of the course here, and still the Violet Women in last. Royal Jesters have not had a good performance whatsoever here, as they're now in the net 10th place out of 12. So approaching the finish line now, we're about to see the first marble enter into the last of the funnels here, and it's going to be the Royal Jesters who are now in a net last place. The Rollives are there with them as well. Atomics there as well in a net 10th place. They're the third to enter into the last funnel. Meanwhile, up at the front, Eagle has been unchallenged by anybody else here, as we're about to get the first finish. It is in fact the Rollives will finish in last. It is going to be then, I think it's going to be the Royal Jesters. Jester will finish in 11th. Violet I think we might be next. I think it's too late, and it is. Misfortune takes 10th. It's the Cosine Crescent. What happened to Moon then? They finish in 9th. Balance in 8th. It's the Cybercrew in 7th, and that's your top 6 right there. Atomics with a great recovery then. Nucleus holding it steady in the last of the funnels. They finish in 5th, and that's your top 4 right there. Is it going to be the Pyro Prowlers or the Clockworks? That is the Clockworks that enter in 4th, and that's your podium then. Pyro with a great recovery. They finish in 3rd, or they will finish in 3rd apparently, and they do so. It's Renew in 2nd. But nobody has been able to challenge Eagle of the Golf Bird. It is exactly what they needed going into the second event. And it's too late, I think. And it is, in fact, too late. And the Golf Birds will take it. Ooh, Eagle, a great performing marble altogether here in the VALVIK Marble League. Of course, MVM back in Season 2. Already at this point, they're kind of showboating a little bit here. But they finish at a pretty decent time then. Great captain to Team Echo, but what a event then for the Golf Birds. Unchallenged altogether, but let's watch again that start then. Moon was the first to enter and did have a good recovery, but what happened, I wonder, to Moon at the end of the course there? We will have to check the replay to see here. And that's what happened. Pyro got stuck at the entrance of the funnel and then ruined Jester's performance, unfortunately. And look at that, Moon contact with some of the marbles there, and then straight into the hole, down in 9th. Unfortunate for the coastline presence. Not a good start then at all after their first event as well. But we still have half of the qualifiers to go through. So then, the Golfbirds take the win here in the Funnel Endurance. It's Team Echo in second, Power Prowlers take third, Victoria, Atomics, and the Hammerheads as your top 6. But let's see how this changes the overall standings then. Team Echo move up to the lead. It's the Royal Jesters down in 1 spot in second. Balls are sent down to third. Golfbirds up 8 spots into 4th. Clockworks and Atomics round out your top 6. Cybercrew down 3 spots to 7th. As we now look towards Group B, it is going to be the Grimrons at the back, Team Virtuoso at the front with Baccarole, and they're off already for Group B. And already we're seeing the first mob of the marbles to get into the second funnel. It's the Flaming Cherries and the Cue Balls. Inari of the Kitsune Rush alongside Green Neon and Uramaki. Poison Darts, Archer getting stuck at the entrance of the second funnel. Already down to the third funnel alongside Burgundy of the Flaming Cherries. Baccarole is there as well alongside Mule up at the front. It's Port of the Satyrs, a very seasoned veteran when it comes to funnel endurance events. And almost a funnel gap to second place, who looks to be between the Peculiar Peaks and the Cue Balls. As meanwhile, up at the back, it is Zante of the Shakuran fighting it out with Archer of the Poison Darts. As Zante now enters into what appears to be the 6th or 5th funnel. As up at the front, Port unchallenged by either of Team Whiteout, the Cue Balls, or the Peculiar Peaks. As Archer now enters into the 7th funnel, already past the 1 minute mark almost. And oh, massive contact there puts Inari into the 7th funnel, second to last funnel alongside Zante. Tempo dropping down a little bit here as Rosie of the Grim Roses, seemingly with a good recovery. Archer on the path of recovery as well. Meanwhile, up at the front, it is the Sailors alongside Team Virtuoso, Baccarole now with a good recovery up into a net second position as we're about to approach the end of the event here, which seems to be the first of the finishers. I think it's going to be the Kitsune Rush, and it is. Inari finishes in 12th. We're now waiting for the 11th place team to finish. I think it's going to be Shakuran, and yeah, Zante finishes 11th. Oh, that's not going to be a good result for those two teams there. Archer, Poison Darts finished 10th. And who is going to be the 9th place finisher? It looks to be going the way of the Flaming Cherries, and it is. Cue Balls, Temple in there as well. No, it is the Grimroses that finish in 8th. It's between the Poison Darts. Oh, actually, I should say that the Cue Balls finish in 7th. It is Uramaki in 6th, and that's your top 5 right there. I think Green Neon is going to finish 5th alongside Matterhorn and Blanco, but Muno up at the front. Port still unchallenged. They were able to fight off the attack of Baccarole, and they're now in a net first position as Baccarole now in the last of the funnels now. Blanco finishes 3rd for Team Whiteout. But look at the gap that Port has over Baccarole as Baccarole about to enter the event horizon of the funnel there. And they finish, and that's it. Port takes it for the Satyrs. What a wonderful performance here for the captain of the Satyrs then. Port, masterful performer here in the funnels. No problems here whatsoever. They started off on the wrong foot at the Satyrs, but now, not anymore, with a gold medal. But what a run then, and look at that. Archer getting stuck on the entrance, losing all momentum, and then dropping immediately into the funnel, down into funnel number 3. That pretty much ruined their event from the start. And Port, once they found that momentum in that first funnel, they were able to steal themselves and stay in a very decent first position, which will bring them 15 points. It is Team Virtuoso going back-to-back in medals. Team Whiteout, Blanco, with a good result once again here in the funnels. But it's the Satyrs that do take it here in the Funnel Endurance. In 4th come the Peculiar Peaks, Disco Neons in 5th, Sushi Squad in 6th alongside the Cue Balls. Kitsune Rush finish in 12th. So poor performance here for the Kitsune Rush. But let's see how this affects the overall standings. And up at the front, Team Virtuoso remains 6 points away from the Satyrs, who jump up 5 spots into 2nd. Peaks, Neons, Cue Balls, and the Team Whiteout round out your top 6 as we look towards the 3rd event of the qualifiers, Balancing. Balancing a little bit different from how it was in Season 3. The surface is now a lot more slippery, leading to what could be a lot more mistakes from these teams here. So it is a bit of a new event for these teams to experiment with. But let's start off with Group A. And up first, it is none other than the Coastline Crescent, who have so far had a very poor qualifiers. But let's see how they manage so far, how they manage here in balancing. It should be their first time here in balancing, as they run up the catwalk, and already 2 getting stuck, both in the 2, 1 in the 3, one finisher, almost. They do, and they will finish in the 12th, and 1 in the 7. Not a good score compared to what we've seen in the main league last time out in Season 3. But of course the surface is a little bit different now, so perhaps this could be a better result here for the Coastline Crescent. But let's see what the overall score is. And for the Crescents, it's a 26 to get them started. It's now the Violet Women. We're about to start their run. And they're off. As they run up the catwalk, a lot of contact here between the members of the Violet Women. One already getting stuck in the 2-2, and that's already going to be a very poor run. Only 2 in the 6 as their highest. 2 getting stuck in that 2 section there, 1 in the 3. Ooh, that's not going to be a good run then from the Violet Women, who are already struggling here in the qualifiers. And with 10 runs still left to go, it's not going to be a good score at the end of it. It is only 19 for the Violet Vermin. 7 points away from the Coastline Crescents. As the Rollives now, another team that's been performing quite poorly. One 6 points finish and 1 goose egg. As they run up the catwalk now, 1 getting stuck in the 1, 2 in the 2. Ooh, and 1 in the 6, 1 in the 3. Oh, even poorer performance here from the Rollives than from the Violet Vermin. Oh, another team that's struggling here in the qualifier so far. It could be another goose egg for the Rollives, as 1 getting stuck in that 1. Ooh, disaster. And it is a 14. Oh, that is a very poor score here for the Rollives. Well, let's see what the Hammerheads do here. As they're off. So far, very poor runs from balancing. It's proving to be a much more trickier event than it was last season, as already 2 in the 2 for the Hammerheads, 1 in the 3, 1 in the 6, and 1 in the 7. Another run that has no finisher in the 12th. Oh. Looks like Crescent so far still very much in the lead here by a pretty comfortable margin compared to some of these other teams. We'll have to wait and see what exactly the Hammerheads scored. And it's only at 26 points away from the Coastline Crescents. They do take second, but now the Pirate Prowlers are about to start their run. And they're off. Down the catwalk they go. No, 3 stuck in the 3, 1 in the 7, 1 in the 8. That's definitely one of the better runs we've seen so far here in balancing. But I don't think it's going to be better than the Coastline Crescent's run. The 3 gets stuck in the 3 there. They land in the 3 pretty well. And then 1 in the 7 and 1 in the 8. That is good enough for second, but it's nowhere near the run of the Coastline Crescents with a 24. As the Cyber Crew now line up for run 6 of 12. And they're off about to go down the catwalk. And 2 gets stuck in the 2 again, but we have 1 finisher and 1 in the 8. Ooh, that's going to be a better run here from the Cyber Crew compared to everybody else. Cyber Crew, of course, in their first balancing tryout. Let's see how it shakes out compared to everybody else in Group A. And it's good enough for first place with 27. The Cyber Crew move up to the lead. Not bad then. As up next, it's the Atomics. And they're off. I think teams are starting to realize the differences between this version of balancing compared to the Season 3 version. As the Atomics, as I say that, they do get a finisher in the 12. That's Captain Nucleus. But they still get 2 in the 2. That has so far been a very common thread for a lot of these teams here. 1 in the 3, 1 in the 6, and then 1 finishing in the 12. Let's see where they line up. It's good enough for third place with a 25. As we're now approaching the end of the event here with the Golfbirds. Currently sitting in 5th. As they're off. Going down the catwalk now to the Golfbirds. 1 getting second, 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 1 and 5, and 1 and 6. It's not going to be a good run then from the Golfbirds. Bit of an up and down effort in the qualifier so far, with a poor result in the relay, a good result in the funnel endurance, but I don't think it's going to be a good result here in balancing. As we see the results, only good enough for 7th with a 19, same score then as the Violet Vermin. The placements are a little bit different as the Clockworks now line up for run 9. As we're off down the track, a lot of separation there for the Clockworks, but then once the turn comes, they're a lot more closely all together there. And one just barely makes it into the 12. They had contact with the wall by the 8, but they were able to somewhat recover to land in the 12. And most runs for the finisher have so far been some of the better ones here in Group A. As you can see, look at that. Steam is able to recover and then get in the 12. But let's see what the score is for the Clockworks here. It's good enough for 3rd place with a 26. I believe they tie with the Cosine Crescents, but the Crescents might have a better score than the Clockworks, a better individual score, as the Bosses now begin their run, sitting 3rd at the moment in Group A. Again, with a good launch already here as they're going down the catwalk. One getting stuck in the 1, but then look at that. Two making it all the way to the finish line. I think they're going to be able to do it. 1 in the 12, and that makes 2 in the 12 for the Balls of Zen. Ooh, great stuff here for the Balls of Zen. They both had contact with balance, and I believe that's harmony. They had contact with both, but they were able to, much like the Clockworks, they were able to recover somewhat and then get back on track to get in the 12. And then slowly inching towards the catwalk here. And down in the, and then both in the 12. That's already a 24, and that's a 36. Ooh, massive gap here for the Balls of Zen. A big cushion, and already guaranteed a medal. Could be gold here to go if the Jesters and Team Echo next don't do anything. But let's see what the Jesters do now. As they're going down the catwalk. And 2 stuck in the 2, 1 in the 6, 1 in the 3, and 1 in the 8. I do not think it's going to be a good score. Definitely a middling run, but not enough to bother any of the top 4. It's going to be a 21, only 7th for the Jesters as we reach the last run of Group A. And it's Team Echo, who have so far had a very good qualifying effort. 2 medals back to back. Can they make it a 3rd? As they run down the catwalk. No, I do not think that's going to happen. 2 in the 3, 1 in the 2, 1 in the 5, and 1 in the 6. It's not going to be a good effort, and I think the Bosses Zen have done it. But let's see where this puts Team Echo. And it's not going to be a good run. Only 10th for Team Echo, putting them down in the bottom 3. So then, the Bosses Zen take it in balancing. It's the Cyber Crew and the Cosine Crescents in 3rd. Rollers down in last yet again, as Golfbirds and Team Echo tie for 10th. Exactly. Well, let's see how this shakes out the standings. And the Bosses Zen jump up 2 spots into 1st. Cyber Crew jump up 5 into 2nd. It's Team Echo and the Clockworks in 3rd and 4th. Atomics on the bubble there, tied with the Royal Jesters, but then 3 points ahead of the Pyre Prowlers as we look towards Group B. It's the Poison Darts that get us started here in Group B. And they're off. Down the catwalk they go. And already 2 in the 2 getting stuck, 1 in the 3, 1 in the 7, but then they get 1 finisher in the 12 already, better than most of Group A. Of course, they have 11 runs left to go to see where they line up compared to everybody else in their own group. Let's see what score the Poison Darts get here. It's going to be 25 to get them started already. Good enough for 4th place in Group A. This could be very good for the Poison Darts here as the Grimroses line up for their attempt. As they're off. Going down the catwalk, a lot of momentum there for the Grimroses. 2 in the 3. Oh, disaster for the Grimroses here. 1 in the 10, and then 1 in the 12. But then 3 in the 2. That's going to balance it out to a middling score. Not good for the Grimroses. They got tripped up over one another, and 3 of them land in the 2. Look at that. Oh, contact there between the members there. Put 2 of them in the upper box of the 2, and then 1 in the bottom there. But it's good enough for 1st place with a 29. Those last 2 finishers, crucial in this score, as the Shakarana with their very colorful purple and yellow scheme on the bubble. as they run down now towards the catwalk. One already getting something into 1 to 5, 1 to 3, and 2 in the 7. Not a finisher. I don't think it's going to be a better run than any of the previous 2. But let's see the results here for the Shock Courant. And it is only 24 points, only 3rd. As up next, it's the Katsuna Rush, another team that's been struggling a little bit here. Last place in the funnels did not help out this team here. But let's see how they manage in balancing. As they run out of the catwalk, can get 2 stuck in the 2, 1 in the 3, 1 finisher though in the 12, and 1 in the 7. But I don't think it's going to be a better score than the Grimrod's attempt here. As, again, much like Group A, very similar looking runs, but definitely better than the Group A marbles. It's going to be a 26, putting them in 2nd. As up next, it's the Flamin' Cherries. And they're off. Down towards the catwalk, a very linear lineup for the Flamin' Cherries. They get 1 in the 9, 1 in the 8, 1 in the 7, 1 in the 3, and then 1 all the way back there at the 1. Very high individual scores here, but let's see how it lines up overall, because they have 1 in the 2, sorry, 1 in the 1 and 1 in the 3. I do not think it's going to be a very good score here for the Flamin' Cherries compared to everybody else in their group. Only good enough for 2nd with a 28, but not a bad effort considering they had no finishers in the 12. It's now approaching the halfway point of Event 3 with the Sushi Squad. And they're off down the catwalk. Very linear walkway there as well. As, oh, look at that. We have 1 finisher and 1 in the 9, 1 in the 7, 1 in the 6. Not a bad run then from the Sushi Squad. Already, I think it's going to be much better than what we've seen so far. This is a lot more likely. This is a lot more like it. I think the team is starting to realize how to navigate this more slippery version of the catwalk here. Look at with a 37, the Sushi Squad take the lead. Not bad then. Already higher than the score of the Balls of Zen in Group A. As Team Whiteout now begin their run. Down the catwalk they go. They have 1 that's stuck in the wall, but they hit the wall there. But they have 1 finisher, 2 finishers, and 3 finishers. Oh! Where did that come from Team Whiteout? That's going to be an easy lead then. Oh, with 3 finishers. Already 36 points for Team Whiteout just by having those 3 finishers. 1 in the 3, and then 1 that ends all the way in the 7 there. Not bad then. They had contact with the walls, but they were able to recover that momentum. And with a 46, Team Whiteout take the lead. That's going to be a very tough score to beat. Let's see what the Cue Balls do here. As they're off. And on the catwalk, very colorful uniform here for the Cue Balls. But they have 1 in the 3, 1 in the 5, 1 in the 7, 1 that finishes. That's 9 ball, but then everybody else in the middling areas, 10 ball in the 3. Definitely not going to beat the Team Whiteout score. But it's good enough for 3rd. 33 points, go to the Cue Balls. It's now the Disco Neons, another team with a very colorful uniform, up on the docket. And they're off. This team finished 4th last time out in balancing with a very decent score. Let's see what they managed to do here. They have 1 that's stuck in the 1, 1 finisher in the 12, 2 finishes in the 12. Not bad then from the Disco Neons. And then 1 in the 7, 1 in the 3. Already 22 points plus 23. 30 points already. 30, I think it's going to be 33 points for the Disco Neons. Not the best at math. That's why we have these results here. It's going to be a 35 for the Disco Neons. Bring them in 3rd. As now it's Peculiar Peaks' turn. Peaks as well finished 2nd in balancing. Last time on Season 3. Their last medal to date, I should say actually. Oh, but they got 1 in the 2, 1 in the 2. They have 1 finisher though. I think it's going to be 2 finishes. Oh, but look at that! Ascent jumps out of the 10 into the 12. Out of the 12 into the 10. Oh, that's a loss of 2 points there for the Peculiar Peaks. The same thing happened to Sonata last time out in Season 3. where Team Virtuoso lands in the 12, but then jumps out. Ooh, they had a very poor bounce there, and then Ascent cannot manage the momentum, and they land in the 10. That's going to remain a 29 for the Peaks, only puts them in 10th, as Team Whiteout guaranteed a medal here, as the last 2 runs of Group B with the Sailors up first. Let's see how they manage as the Sailors run down the ramp here. A very linear run by the Sailors, 1 in the 2 already, but they have 1, 2, 3 finishes. Oh, 1 in 10, but that's going to be a very good score here from the Sailors. I don't think it's going to beat out Team Whiteout, but at least good enough for second. A very quick getaway down to the camera, but 1 already gets stuck in the 1, and then the others beeline it right to the 12 as 1 gets stuck in the 6, but then 1 orbital just cannot hold on, and they land down in 10. But it's going to be a 42 for the Sailors, putting them in second. Guaranteed a medal themselves, as Team Virtuoso now the last of the teams to run here in balancing. They're off. Going down the catwalk, a very fast getaway here for Team Virtuoso. 1 gets stuck in the 3. 1, oh, they don't even have a finisher. I don't think it's going to be able to, they are going to challenge. Team Whiteout then will take gold here in balancing. Sailors in second. I think we might beat the Sconians in third, or the Sushi Squad in third. But as for Team Virtuoso, they finish in 6th with a 32. But it is then Team Whiteout that take gold here in balancing, at least for the qualifier. Sailors in second, Sushi Squad take third. Let's go Neon's Cue Balls and Team Virtuoso, your top 6. Shakurant down in last. Poison Darts in 11th. Ooh. As we see how this affects the standings. And already for the Poison Darts, it's too late for the second season running. They cannot qualify. Meanwhile, up at the front, the Cue Balls and Sushi Squad divided by 1 point as we get towards the last event of the qualifiers here. It's crucial for both groups, but meanwhile, Team Virtuoso and the Sailors tied on points for first and second. Let's look towards the 4th and final event of the qualifiers, Rallycross. It's going to be a racing-style event in 3 separate sections. One made of sand, 1 of track, and then back to the sand for 1 last dash through the course. It's going to be all 12 marbles once again to see who qualifies for the VALVIK Marble League. We're going to get started with Group A here. It's the Balls at the back with the Cyber Crew, and then at the front, it's the Violet Vermin and the Rollives. And a lot of very fast numbers here. You can see Yin as well as Joker from the VALVIK Grand Prix Tour. But they're off here in the rally course. It's a good start for the Violet Vermin. And the good start for the Hammerheads. Bonnet now takes second. Bonnet now takes the lead. It's Rolliv in second, Parasite. And then Condor. Yin up to 5th from 12th. It's Kilo alongside them in 6th. And then it's Sustain and Loon as well as we enter into the attack section now. It's still Bonnet in the lead here. Look at that. Getting contact there at the entrance of the track section as Yin now up to 4th place. Yin, a very good performer here in racing events, already up to battling it out with Parasite for 3rd. As well, then Loon up to 5th. It's Kilo in 6th. Joker, sorry, I should say Proton fighting it out as Yin now takes the lead going to the last section of the course here. Rollo hounding them into the sand. As we're about to approach the end of the course here, it's still Bonnet in 3rd as going into the last turn. Rollo now takes the lead, about to approach the finish line, and the Rollins will take it. It's the Sands in 2nd, the Crescents then take 3rd, and Team Echo in 4th. Ooh, but is it going to be enough for the Rollives to qualify? I don't think so, because they're sitting in last with a pretty sizable gap to 11th. With 15 points, that's going to be 21 points for the Rollives. Not a bad effort then from the Coastline Crescents as well. Loon taking 3rd at the last possible moment then. And I think they are safe with another 2nd place finish here, but we have to wait and see the overall standings. But it is then Wallo that takes the lead here. That takes the win here in the Rallycross. Balls in 2nd, Crescents, Team Echo Hammerheads, and the Cyber Crew. Well, Jesters, Joker, ooh, a very poor time here. 12th place for the Blood Jesters, a team that was already on the bubble here. But let's see the results for Group A. And look at that. Bosses and Team Echo, Cyber Crew, Atomics, Coastline Crescents with a great recovery, and the Clockworks barely making it over the Rollives. Oh, what a great recovery then from the Coastline Crescents, who are back in the VALVIK Marble League. But that's your teams then from Group A. As we look towards Group B for the final event of the qualifiers. And here we are then. It's the Sailors and Virtuoso at the back. Shakuran and the Poison Darts at the front for the final race of Group B here in Rallycross. And we're off. It's a good start for Shakuran. Uramaki there in 4th place as Shakuran round the curtain. It's Kami now that takes the lead. Thorn then in 2nd place. Corinth down to 3rd. It's 9-Ball up in 4th. Uramaki in 5th. Uramaki and Squad and Cue Balls divided by 1 point. Whoever finishes ahead will qualify, I think, for the VALVIK Marble League. As meanwhile up at the back, the Sailors at the back there alongside the Disco Neons, Pink Neon. Another team that's on the bubble here, Disco Neons. They could miss out if they don't get a move on here. As Kami then extends that gap to Thorn. Albo is there as well in the track section as we enter the last stand section of the rally course here. Very quick event this one, but it's still very much the Casino Rush with a great lead over the Grimroses with Thorn. Shakuran in 3rd. It's Cue Balls and the Peculiar Peaks as we're about to round out the last turn. Thorn with a big run, but they cannot make it. It's a Casino Rush. We'll take it. Shakuran in 3rd. Cue Balls, Sushi Squad, Poison Darts, Peaks, Virtuoso, Flaming Cherries, Team Whiteout, Disco Neons, and the Sailors in last. But I think they are safe. But once again, is it enough for the Casino Rush to qualify here? I don't think so. It's going to be very close, I believe, in those last few placements, in those last few positions there. But as for the Sailors, I think they are safe. Same with Team Virtuoso. But what a race then from Kami. Dominating performance from start to finish there. 9-Ball trying to make a move there for the lead, but then getting bogged down and then caught up. Thorn tried to make a big lunge there at the last corner. Could not pass Kami for the win here. But that's how it's going to remain for Group B. Kami will take the win. It's Thorn in 2nd. Corinth, 9-Ball, Uramaki, and Venom. And your top 6, Starboard, a great performer here in the VALVIK Grand Prix Tour, could not manage better than 12th here in this event. But let's see how they line up in Group B. But let's see how this shakes out. The standings in Group B, and look at that. Oh, Disco Neon's barely making it over to Sushi Squad. Cue Balls back in the VALVIK Marble League. Team Whiteout as well. And it's Team Virtuoso that win out over the Sailors in Group B. But well done to the teams that qualified here in the VALVIK Marble League for Season 4. Congratulations to the teams that qualified for the VALVIK Marble League. Well done then to the teams that will compete here in the VALVIK Marble League. We wish them all the best of luck. For a recap, we've got the Scorperiors, the Carbon, Sky Scouts, Bubblegum Ballers, Balls of Zen, Team Virtuoso, Team Echo, the Sailors, Cyber Crew, Peculiar Peaks, Atomics, Team Whiteout, Cosine Crescents, Cue Balls, Clockworks, and the Disco Neons. Well, that's it from us here at the qualifiers. This has been the VALVIK Marble League. We'll see you very soon for the start of the season. But as for myself, I've been Frankie, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.